What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Crew 2. And well, as y'all know, with the American Legends update, we actually got 4 new stories here on the game. I am so dang excited to do this because I absolutely love the old stories that were in the Crew 2, and to see 4 new ones actually being added is honestly awesome. Now, I do want to mention I will be going over these other 3 in the coming days, so definitely stay tuned for those. But in this video, though, we're going to take a look at the Malu's Memoirs. Do keep in mind, guys, the 2 stories here are indeed going to be 12 steps. Both of those are going to give you vehicles, and the other 2 seem to be giving you an outfit, which I would say is going to be a great collector's item, especially with Motorfest right around the corner. But nonetheless, guys, jumping right into the Malu's Memoirs here, starting off with step number 1, find the park near LA Airport, Los Angeles. So for step number 1, guys, you will have to head over to the LA Airport. This is going to be located on the left side of Los Angeles here on the west coast part of the map. So once you guys do head over to Los Angeles, once you guys zoom in, you will then see the LA airport over here with all the planes lined up on both the right and or the left sides. So if you guys were wondering, by the way, there's not going to be a lot of stuff to spawn in over here for me. I would probably say the best place to spawn in is by far going to be the driver's wanted right here, because the location of the first step's actually going to be right around the corner, basically where this waypoint is located. And then moving over to step number 2, 2 kinds of love. Travel from LA Airport to the unloading pier in LA Harbor, Los Angeles with any ground vehicle. So for step number 2, I would recommend leaving from the parking lot that wasn't step number 1. I did find this to be the easiest way. You're also only 2.5 miles away from the next step, which by the way is going to be located here in the corner of the harbor. I was actually looking over in this area at first, but it's definitely not the right place. It's actually going to be here on the corner, guys, because in the photo, you're also going to notice the cruise ship in the background there. So this is definitely going to be the place you guys will be looking for. And again, luckily it's only 2.5 miles from step number 1. And then moving over to step number 3, my other family. Travel from LA Harbor to Grandma's house in San Bernardino, east of Los Angeles, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 3, you will have to leave from the LA Harbor, then head over to San Bernardino. One thing I do want to point out though, guys, I did notice when first spawning in after completing step number 2, that the box on the left side of the screen was not green, so to fix this, all you will then have to do is basically head up to LA Harbor, which is actually going to be right over here after this little bridge. I don't know why that is, but obviously where this does say LA Harbor, I'm guessing this is the main part of that where I guess the island isn't. But once you guys do get to like the location by this like roundabout thing, you can then head over to the house in San Bernardino, which from this location is a little over 9 miles. If you do use something like a hypercar, this is probably going to go pretty fast, but the location, guys, of San Bernardino from here is also going to be over here. It's luckily not going to be too insanely far away, but I would recommend using something like an Alpha GP and or like a hypercar. And the yellow house is going to be located here on the corner, where you can then hit step number 4. And then moving over to step number 4, the old garage, travel from San Bernardino east of Los Angeles to the Little 7 Days Market in Mojave, southwest of Las Vegas, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 4, you will have to leave from the San Bernardino area. So for this, guys, I would honestly just recommend leaving from that house in step number 3. I would probably say this is easily going to be the best way to do this. And luckily the Mojave area is only going to be around 9 miles from this location. It's actually going to be insanely close by to the Golden Hills racetrack, located right over here. And then moving over to step number 5, the desert wheels, travel from Mojave Desert southwest of Las Vegas to the Ferris wheel in the Five Kings Casino Motorsport Park east of Las Vegas with any ground vehicle. So for step number 5, you will have to leave from the Mojave Desert area. So for this, guys, if you are trying to leave from the Mojave area that was where step number 4 was, I did notice this location is not going to count. So for this, I would recommend spawning over to this touring car event by the Golden Hills racetrack. As soon as you actually spawn in, that thing is then going to go green, and you can actually head over to the Motorsport Park, which is going to be around 9.5 miles away. And then moving over to step number 6, World Explorers, travel from Death Valley east of Las Vegas to the Eiffel Tower in the Strip Las Vegas with any ground vehicle. So for step number 6, you will have to leave from the Death Valley area. So for this, guys, I would recommend leaving from the motorsports track where the Ferris wheel is. And luckily the Eiffel Tower is only going to be located pretty close by over here in Las Vegas. And then moving over to step number 7, Stunt Show, travel from Las Vegas to the looping in the center of Paradise Arena, north of Las Vegas, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 7, you will have to leave from the Las Vegas area. So for this, guys, I would recommend leaving from this Eiffel Tower that was in step number 6. And that way it's basically going to be a straight shot all the way to the Paradise Arena. Do keep in mind it's going to be like around 3.5 miles to this location. And luckily the Paradise Arena is right next to Death Valley. And then moving over to step number 8, Sandy Dunes. Travel from Death Valley north of Las Vegas to the abandoned house in the Great Sand Dune, west of Salt Lake City with any ground vehicle. So for step number 8, you will have to leave from the Death Valley area. So for this, guys, the easiest way I found to do this, because from Paradise Arena, you're actually not going to technically be in Death Valley. So for this, all you will have to do is spawn over to the Death Valley Slalom. That's luckily going to be insanely close by to the Paradise Arena. And then after that, it's going to be around 8 miles or so to the Great Sand Dune and or the abandoned house located right over here. And then moving over to step number 9, Stories from the Old Days. Travel from Great Sand Dune west of Salt Lake City to Bob's Garage in Financial District Salt Lake City with any ground vehicle. So for step number 9, you will have to leave from the Great Sand Dune area. So for this, guys, I would recommend leaving from the abandoned house that was in step number 8. And luckily, Salt Lake City is not going to be insanely far away, located right over here. Now, one thing I do want to mention, though, you guys could use like a rallycross and or a rally raid vehicle and basically head around this way if you did want to, or you could obviously go the long way in like a hypercar. I would say either way basically works. But the auto shop you guys are looking for is going to be located here on the corner of that weird looking castle. And then moving over to step number 10, Powered by Nature. Travel from Salt Lake City to the Hoover Dam Bridge in Lake Mead, east of Las Vegas, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 10, you guys will have to leave from the Salt Lake City area. So the easiest way I found to do this is to basically leave from the garage that is in step number 9. If you wanted to, you could probably spawn over to this hypercar race over here, but I really don't see a point because it's maybe going to be like a half a mile. And luckily the Hoover Dam's only going to be around 10 miles from this location, which will be located right over here. And then for step number 11, one last drive. Travel from Lake Mead east of Las Vegas to the Dennis Food and Giant Sequoia Forest, southwest of Las Vegas with any ground vehicle. So for step number 11, you will have to leave from the Lake Mead area. So for this one, guys, you can actually leave from the bridge that was in step number 10. And the Giant Sequoia Forest is going to be around 10 miles from this location. It's also going to be slightly hidden as well. So if you do zoom out too far, it's also not going to show up. But the place you are looking for is going to basically be to the left of where the bridge was in step number 10. And luckily, guys, there's also going to be a rallycross event located basically right next to where this location is. So this could be like a landmark for this area if you guys are having issues finding it. But luckily, this place is going to be located right over here. And then moving over to the final step, guys, back to Hawaii. Travel from Giant Sequoia Forest southwest of Las Vegas to the branch of Motorfest in Fresno north of Los Angeles with any ground vehicle. So for the final step, you will have to leave from the Giant Sequoia Forest. So for this, I would recommend leaving from the area that was in step number 11. Is that an animal? What is the dog doing? But nonetheless, guys, for this one, I would recommend leaving from here because I would say this is the fastest way. And luckily, Fresno's only going to be around 9 miles away, which after you guys do complete this step, you will be rewarded with the vehicle.